Hello, good gentles all. Welcome back. My name is Mica Pointer. I am a graduate employee in the costume shop of the University of Oregon. And today we'll be having our thrilling conclusion, Hook, Eye, and Bar, Part 3. Now, for the bar, that is used on projects for when there is overlap in the closure, where before, if you've been following us in our trilogy of closure videos, the hook and eye just kiss each other. There is no overlap, ideally, and no gaps between them. For this, the hook will be overlapping the fabric right there. So, as such, the bar, whoopsies, she wants to stay with me. The bar will be placed on the right side of the fabric here, as opposed to the wrong side where we placed the eye. And guess what? Since we don't have to worry about our stitches not showing from the right side of the fabric, you can stitch through all the layers. You can go through every single layer, every stitch. You don't have to worry about slipping them or tunneling them or having only one pick that's showing from the right side of the fabric, because when that gets secured, it will be covered up by the hook when it goes to close in. Okay? So, just as for all closures, I'll be working with a double-threaded needle that is tied together down at the end. I'm going to be putting my bar, let's say, just right about here. And something to be mindful, again, just like when we were working with the eye, if you were following us for that video, there are just a few gaps, if you notice, where the wire is twisted to make that loop. There's a gap right there. So be careful that you're not getting your stitches too close to that gap, because it might have a chance of slipping out on you and undoing all that hard work that you have so hard to accomplish. So we're going to be putting our bar just right there on the right side of the fabric, in line, in this case, with where we had put the eye, but always in line with where you want your closure to be. Nothing is worse than crooked closures. So I'm going to be coming up in the middle of one of those loops. I'm going to be stitching in on the outside, coming out on the inside of the loop, just because that's what seems to be most efficient for me. Because as you can see, I'm able to really manipulate the fabric to get them in the right places, going from outside to inside. And just like with the other pieces we've been working with, it'll be 5 stitches for securing closures. So that was stitch 1, this will be stitch 2, three, and because I want these stitches to be fairly evenly placed around the loop, I'm going to start working from center out this way. Stitch 4, there we go, and stitch 5. Now for this one, naturally, you could go through all the layers, come back up over here in the center and start stitching again, because I like to keep things tidy. I'm a little persnickety that way. I'm just going to be tunneling my stitch. What? I said tunneling. Tunneling my stitch between the layers. Oh, that did not tunnel. No, it did not. Haha. There we are. Okay. And if you notice, there's a lot of play. Even though one of the loops is secured, it's still sliding around. That's why it's really important making sure where you're coming out over here is where you want it to be, so that way you don't end up with a crooked bar. So let's hope that I do this correctly. Alright, so let's test right there. I can go a little bit further over. Let's try it right there. Yeah, I can make that work for one of the top stitches. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, I'm gonna call that good. Executive decision. I'll have to live with the consequences no matter what. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that'll work for doing one of our upper stitches right there. And then we can just work our way on around. Okay, so we came out in the center. Gonna be going in on the outside. Going through all the layers. And then coming up in the center. If I don't get everything tangled up on itself, oh dear. Okay. That's stitch 2. Oopsies. Pulled a little bit of the raw edge off. Sorry about that. And this is going to be stitch 3 down here. This one is 4. If it wants to go in where I want it to go in, there we are. And 5. There we are. All right. And I'll be tying it off in here on the wrong side of the fabric. I'm just going to do a little anchor stitch. Okay, I'm going to go once, twice through the loop, pull the loop tight, and there's our knot. Okay. Take our trusty snips, snip, snap, dragon, and there we have it. Now, the moment of truth. See how well these go together. Lovely, lovely. Very nice. Excellent. There we go. Once they overlap, you can't even see it. Fabulous. Well, thank you so much for joining me for this trilogy of thrilling closures. I hope these all work out well for you. Again, if you have any questions or need clarification, my email is on the University of Oregon website under Graduate Students for Theater Arts. Thank you all again so much for joining me, and happy sewing!